Right now, there could be a silent killer in your home: mold. Mold is bad for the home and the people living in it. The health and human costs of mold are astronomical. It's been reported that in the U.S. alone, over $15 billion is spent annually on moisture and attic mold damage. And the cost doesn't end there. It's estimated that over $500 billion annually is spent on medical treatments for mold contamination and the loss of productivity in the workplace. Also, studies have shown that over 28% of people are genetically sensitive to mold and its effects, meaning 1 out of 4 people are affected when mold is in the home. The health effects of mold can be devastating. Hi, my name is Bill Maynor, and this story of mold is very personal for me. You see, when my youngest daughter was almost 2 years old, she nearly died from an attic mold infestation we unknowingly had in our home because of an improperly installed bathroom exhaust fan. She liked to play in the kitchen, banging on pots and bowls. It was wintertime, and a leak had developed in the ceiling in the kitchen, right in the same spot my daughter liked to play. A few days after the rains, we were putting my daughter in her car seat and noticed that her tiny arms were showing bruising. When we lifted her shirt, it was devastating. She was covered in what I thought were bruises, which turned out to be something entirely different. My daughter had contracted something called ITP, idiopathic thrombocytopenia. What that is in layman's terms is a disease where the white blood cells think the platelets in the blood, the things that keep the blood inside of us, are bad, and so they do an effective job to eliminate them from the blood. Unfortunately, without platelets in our blood, we will leak, which is what happened to my daughter. After rushing her to the emergency room and then administering her platelets to increase her count, we found out that she had been likely hours away from dying. No parent wants to go through that, and after a thorough search for answers, it was determined that a sensitivity to mold was most likely to blame. Her sensitivity and then close contact was a dangerous combination. She survived that ordeal, but the effects will be with her for life, and now mold is something she has to be very careful around. Other ways mold can affect our health are sneezing, coughing, runny nose, pneumonia, allergies, infections, rash and irritation of the skin, and a whole host of other dangerous effects. Mold in the attic is particularly bad because when it's out of sight, it's out of mind. And most moisture and mold in the attic come from the improper venting of bathroom exhaust fans. The solution for moisture and mold in the attic? The Soffit Vent. For decades, homeowners and contractors have been using vents as a termination of the bathroom exhaust fans. The vents are installed in the soffit to extract the moist air to the exterior. But in practical use, this actually has the opposite effect. Since the soffit is the passive airflow for the intake of cool air circulation of the attic, the result is the warm, moist air that was extracted from the bathroom is directly released into the passive airflow of the soffit and being carried back into the attic to cause problems. The Soffit Vent termination of the exhaust fan is the only patented invention that can stop this cycle and keep attic mold from forming. Don't let your family be at risk. Make sure your attic venting is done right and that you have the Soffit Vent properly installed and working. Go to www.moistureflow.com to learn more about how to protect your family